No, that's okay. Hi, everybody. This is the 11th Ward Alderman. I'm Nicole. Everybody, oops, it's a little weird to see myself on the screen and on the screen. We're having a community. We are having a community meeting tonight regarding a permit application by a company called Light of Christmas. It's a drive-through experience. We have the owner here with us. Glenn, how do you pronounce your last name? Goad. Glenn Goad is with us here tonight. He's going to present to us his concept and what he'd like to do here at the White Sox parking lots. I'm going to turn it over to him. Purpose of this meeting really is to share with everybody what the plans are. There's a permit pending, so it has not been approved yet. I felt really strongly that we needed to have a discussion with the community, given the duration of the permit application, which at this moment is 45 days. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Glenn, and I'm going to navigate on the computer, and then we'll get started.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderman. Thank you for everybody for coming out. My name is Glenn Gold. I've been doing this light show now for 3 years. I had it in Northbrook for 3 years straight. Schaumburg 3 years. I had 1 year. I've noticed over the years that a lot of my clients, I guess, were all from the city. So I don't know, how do I get to the city? And here we are now, and I appreciate you guys all. As you can see through my website, it's a drive-through. You sit in your car, you prepay your ticket, no transaction at the door. You prepay your ticket, you come at a designated time slot, you get scanned in, and then you drive. We ask the customers to drive 2 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour, you got about 20-some minute drive. All the lights are synchronized to music. You turn your radio on to the right station. You listen to the holiday music. The lights are going to be dancing to the music. It's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. How I got to doing this is I kept taking my kids out of state, visit grandma in the winter, and when we visited grandma, we went to shows like this, and they loved it. And the question was, how come we don't have one in Chicago? Well, how do we get one here? And here we are.
Can you tell us where else in the Chicago area you've done this before?
So I have never done it in Chicago, but I did it in the village of Northbrook. At Northbrook Court Mall. I had it in the parking lot for 3 years. Then I had it at Schaumburg Boomer Stadium. I had it in that parking lot for 2 years. Schaumburg Boomers is about 10,000 square foot stadium. It's a minor league baseball. I'm sorry, 10,000 seats. And I knew when I would come here, the stadium's around 30,000, so you guys have the parking for 30,000. Traffic flow for 30,000, everything about it would make my life easier. And with that being said, parking lot A is where we want to use to queue the cars. Last year, parking lot A was the size of my queue area and my shop. This year, I'm only using that for queuing. So I can fit nearly every car that would come any given night if I were to sell out. It's a big if, because as we all know, people aren't spending as much as they have in the past. And I sell tickets only based off of how many I can fit per hour. So it's very limited, the amount that are sold. So parking lot A is gonna queue all the cars. They're gonna enter off of Wentworth, and they're gonna be just snaking through the parking lot. That way there's no backup, no bothering any of the neighbors. Just keeping everybody's life simple. If it's simple for everybody here, it's simple for me. It's just for me. So that's what I was excited about coming here, is I have space that I've had. And then this would be our show in parking lot B. The show is a little bit less than a mile. You're gonna be zigzagging through all sorts of tunnels, lights throughout, and then everybody's gonna be exiting off into Shield. Once they get off of Shield, there can be cones designating the cars to go in one direction, avoiding any traffic issues by cars going left, cars going right, everybody's designated. One direction north, you're gonna be making a right, and that's it. That's pretty much it. We're gonna show some photos, here's some other photos of my shows in the past. I have about 4 containers in storage. I didn't bring everything here, but I brought some. There's my boy actually showing off. That's my baby right there in Nova. He's 7. And you know, we've had a lot of fun, families of all natures. I've seen old elderly couple, young kids, all sorts of people come by. I've been shocked over the years. Some of the people that came and enjoyed it, didn't expect. And any questions?
So what had,
I'm sorry?
The volume.
You know, it's so random that it's COVID year.
Yeah.
COVID year was wild because everything was locked down. After that, it gets to be about a couple hundred a night. On a good year, it's 300 a night. It's been last year. So I'm gonna start at 5 o'clock. And I'm gonna end at, the gates close at 9. If they're in there, we wait them out. We don't sell any tickets for time slots after 8:45. So if the 8:45, we'll give you a few minutes to show up if you're not, we'll lock the gate. And then everybody goes. What I've seen in the past is that nobody really comes late. And then it just becomes a headache on everybody and.
so.
So what I've seen in the past is that people in the area, it gives them a tradition, it gives them something to do. It's very simple, it's not expensive. You sit in your car. A lot of the events that we have in Chicago are walking related. I was born and raised in Chicago. I lived here 40 years. Nobody wants to walk in Chicago. I don't want to walk in Chicago. You know, in the winter, in the winter.
In the winter time.
In the winter. I mean, in the middle of December when it's like 30 degrees out. And believe me, I know because I'll be here fixing lights in 20 degrees and it's really tough to get out and walk, but this gives me a. So this is my show. And I read from the Chicago White Sox. So, I'm sorry, I read from the ISM, Illinois Sports System. So, there's a lot that goes into these shows. And it wasn't an easy venture to try to get into, you know, but I've been blessed and been thankful to get here. But I think overall, it is a business, it's a for-profit, it's my company, I do this. But I think I've seen that through the years, people come, have fun, I have fun. I never thought I would be doing something for a job that I just enjoy.
Hey, John, it's a great question. The question, just because we're recording the presentation, I want to make sure that I can repeat it. So the question that was just posed was what is who benefits from this endeavor? And Mr. Goad is he's a private business owner. This is his business. He would rent the parking lots from the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority. Frank Bilecki is here with us and he can answer questions as well. And you asked specifically, what community benefit is there? So what I've discussed with Mr. Goad is, excuse me, a couple of options. And I think things that he's open to talking to us about and working with us on is while the cars are queued and waiting, one of the things that we could do is promote our local businesses. So a flyer with local restaurants that want to participate. If you come here tonight and you want to grab dinner afterwards or before, here's, 10% discount or something to come to our restaurant. So this is bringing in people from all over the city. So it's going to bring people into the neighborhood. Now, as I say that, I know that people have a lot of concerns about who's coming into the neighborhood. Now, for this for this experience, the parking lot is so big that there's not going to be an impact on traffic per se, right? So, but what it will do is bring people to our area and they can patronize businesses in the area. The other thing is that in that queuing lot here, one of the things while cars are waiting that I discussed with Mr. Goad is, perhaps opening it up to the churches and parishes and other nonprofits in the neighborhood. If they want to do like hot cocoa sales or food sales or something, then they can be on the premises and do that while people are waiting. So that's what, and all of those proceeds would go to the schools or the churches, whoever's raising that. We also talked, and this was a while ago, Glenn, about some maybe residential benefit, like a discount for the residents of the ward, from the 11th ward to come and participate.
Okay, it is not.
No, it's a big investment. He does not. So what I'm saying is that we could potentially bring that in and have that benefit the community, or maybe with local vendors to do that. I think so.
Shouldn't say it's a whole. It's something different. We really don't give it. I mean, other than our church, this is going to bring like not only like the schools, and the pool. We're doing something with the community to help them enjoy something.
And so, how long would you go?
Me personally, I don't know. Say, but there are families here. There are families who get here. It's totally getting over.
That's possible.
It's something. It's something new, something different.
Something else. And my thing is, to bring something to the community. I'm just to be benefit for the residents here.
You enjoy it.
It's not a.
The enjoyment of seeing it.
So,
I.
okay.
There was somebody. This. Yeah. I know that it's a tough community, but it's a great community. And I hope that we can bring something like this in the community. I read this to bring to and I first I can't say that I'm not gonna go. I'm hoping that I can get my son here with his kids.
So, John, give us a second here. This is Frank Bilecki from the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority. He's gonna tell you about a few things they've got going on too.
Like this part of conversations. You know, we've been talking to Glenn, we don't know what next year might be or the following year. We've talked about benefits again for the community. We talk about not paying if we put up an ice rink in one of the parking lots. If we put up the Crispinville Market, if that's an option. But all those conversations, like you just mentioned, has to happen here first before we can expand. This is a great, I think, first start to see how the community reacts and how the city reacts and what sort of response he gets at this location. But if the community is open to it, I mean, we're open to it as far as growing this out and seeing what it looks like in the coming years, which would be a tremendous. Families walking up, getting hot chocolate, ice skating, all those things, I think is a benefit to the community. But you know, I've been at ISCRIT for 2 years. As you probably saw, September 7th and 8th, we had our first concert in seven years. The first night, there were some traffic issues, and the community, rightfully so, was upset. The alderman called us within minutes. She had us, White Sox, OEMC, everybody on the phone, on a call, figuring out how to fix the problem that night and for the following. And the second night, I can tell you, went incredibly smooth versus the first night. But having concerts, having other events and things, at the ballpark or in the parking lots, I'm open to it. I've only been here just over 2 years. But I want to try and engage community and have other events.
Yeah, I understand that.
I could be. I've had three business owners in the room. And that's part of the growth of this, because as Ben said, you know, out front of the Sports Depot store and along that walkway, and all along, there's a great opportunity for the walkthrough. There's great opportunity for the Crispino. I mean, again, growth. We don't know what it's gonna look like. We'd like to see how this first year goes.
So it's better.
I don't think so, because I've talked to 3 business owners who couldn't be happy. They came up and couldn't be happier. I mean, they know that they're not here. But they were,
What were the 3 businesses? Can you say?
I mean, Turtles, Fracos, and Portal, because they drove up to ask.
And one thing that I wanna bring up, I know you're voting, but that was my last year. This year, actually, my price is $24.99. But $24.99 for a powerful, for 30-minute experience, I don't feel it's a lot. Six Flags doing it, it's $40 every day. Cobra's Farm has something similar, $40 every day. I'm gonna be at $24.99 during the week. I'm actually lowered my price $7. You know, and what I've seen is people always came from the city. So they weren't enjoying it. So if I could come to them, they can enjoy it more because it's easier to come. It's easier to get to, and that's part of it, you know?
Go ahead. What's your question? So I was just gonna, you were right on schedule.
So, we provide security, throughout the evening, into night from 9 PM until 8 AM. We'll have our security for the White Sox on site, and then Glenn and his team show up at 8 in the morning, and they're on site until they leave at 10 o'clock, and we'll have our team. But we're gonna go. Every single, I mean,
It's gonna be secured
our folks will
24/7.
come in. Because again, part of the whole timing of this, you know, he's got 3 shipping containers that look like the ones that are on train. And trying to get that stuff here scheduled on time, it's a scheduling nightmare for them and as well as for us. But again, we have our security there on site, obviously we have our cameras and everything else, but we have a physical person there throughout the.
Mhm.
And so I can like speak a little bit for Gladys. We haven't promoted anything.
Not
Just
yet.
holding off for this
Yeah.
meeting to make sure we have this conversation.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna explode.
Yeah.
There was something I think was Chiefs or something, one, it was the parents, there was a day. Parking lot, 35th across from where the. If something with a Jeep Fest or something, it was just Jeeps. There are certain things, again, this is a family thing, so I kind of have this. There could be pros and cons, but if they, it's just something new for the neighborhood, but then, no, there are things that. So,
So speaking of advertising, Glenn, can you talk about how you plan to advertise for this? And I would make a request of you in particular is that you advertise in all of the news bulletins, newsletters of all the local parishes. That's gonna be a great way that you provide some marketing material that we can then distribute at all of the senior clubs and in and around the neighborhood. That'd be okay? Yeah.
Yes. You can definitely come in.
On-site security.
Yeah. If you trust it, it's gonna be a little crazy. So not to say it's not put down, never walking out my door. But I think at least if you put it down there, they'll know that there's.
Yeah, one of the things that we do is at the entrance, at the exit, I have people all the time. So we see everybody coming in, we make sure everything's absolutely. All the employees have their walkie talkies, so we're always communicating with each other, keeping tabs on what's going on, if anything goes on. And security is always an issue for everybody. We wanted to have fun. We want everybody to come have fun.
It's.
Yes, there's a very limited amount of tickets there, so that'd be 15 minutes increments. So you buy your ticket, you come at your time. And it's spread out that way to avoid any backup, any issues. Avoiding having everybody come at the same time. When that happens, then it can be a little bit of a clutter and it can cause some issues. And that's the reason I do that. Is to avoid that.
So. And again, it's not, it's just me, but I would prefer to walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frankly, because I can probably want to do.
Yeah.
Would you consider it one night of the week?
Well, one of the things that is, we have to talk and try to figure out what we can do. One of my major issues with that is that I have certain insurance to cover every aspect. And because there's wires everywhere, and there's a generator, and of all the aspects, I have no problem walking with you because I know you listen, but if there's a family with a bunch of, when I went with my kids, they don't listen, they'll do what I mean. And that's part of the problem today. You know what I've done in the past, and I've done this every year except this year, I did a one free night. Year one, I did for first responders. Year two, I did for veterans. Veterans, I absolutely love. Last year, I did it with teachers. Just a problem because we've set up on the late and there's so much going on. I'm anxious about how I'll be ready for start time as is. I haven't marketed any. I haven't done anything. You see prices from the past, but this is completely different now. So I haven't done any of that yet, you know? Ideally, I would like to try to do something of that nature. And I absolutely love that day with veterans, so that's what I would do. And I only want to do that going forward, to be honest with you, which is the best.
You should do it.
So the only. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I did first responders and that's right. You know, but due to the timing of everything and how everything's kind of late. I still would like to try to squeeze in, but I'm still anxious about how all the dominoes are gonna fall and if we can do that. But you know, willing, as long as, you know, Alderman Lee's been great, Frank has been awesome. I'd love to be here for a long time going forward, and I do that every year for them. For veterans, I had my tree, I mean, I did a special song when I did it with the veterans, and it was just a great experience for everybody, and I gave away 500 free tickets, and that was my favorite.
Go ahead, Joe.
So, is it? Yeah. That's what. So, like.
No, so what happened is, the way everything was set up in the past. I ran a company that I still manager or CEO, whatever you wanna call it, Shine Light Show. Shine Light Show is being closed down. It's still active, but
Right,
I'm sorry. Yeah, and then I rebranded to reflect this change, and I wanted to combine, put something big out there. And this new, everything that we're doing now is nothing's been brought, marketed anywhere. Nothing's been said anywhere. If you actually click on buy now, see if it works. It's not even on yet because I wanted to wait for after this meeting to see. And so you're 100% correct. But, for this year and going forward, that's where we're. Weekdays are slower anyways. And then my biggest complaints were always, you advertise for being in Chicago and you're not in Chicago. And then the other one was, it's a little bit expensive. So I heard those complaints, and I said, how can I answer these, questions that people have asked? And how can I bring this to the people? One of the things with, marketing is I do a lot of marketing on social media. That's where I do most of the marketing. I've done all sorts of radio stations. If you're familiar with 93.9, that's what I've done that. I collaborated with Caleb Radio. I don't know if you're familiar with Caleb Radio. They reached out to us, so we just self-promoted. I'm working out with a media company called Salem Media now. They're helping me with a lot. I'm gonna collaborate with that radio station. And so I try to reach the people through the the method that they like. Social media is huge today. And a lot of people that enjoy this time of year listen to specific radio stations because of the content that's being played. And so I reach out to them through that way. That's what I mainly do my marketing.
and thanks for that. I know that given the late start that you could be potentially getting now, that a totally free day is not something that you could commit to.
I'm not saying no.
I said that you.
Yes, yes.
Um, if you're not able to ultimately, would you provide a block of donated tickets so that we can, at least for our 9th district police officers that are in this ward, provide some block of tickets so that we can provide it to the commander, and we can distribute those to some of our officers?
Definitely. What I've done in the past, in the areas that I was located in, is I went to a lot of the churches, parishes, whatnot, and I would give them 20, 40, 50. One church, I gave them 100 tickets. And I gave them 3 tickets, but I gave them one stipulation. Whether they obliged or not, it didn't matter to me, but, my wife, we have 3 kids. We've always been passionate about our kids and going because they're local kids. So I've given many, maybe thousands of tickets in the past. And I said, you guys have kids programs? Auction them, do something, and then use that money to pizza party for the kids. If you wanna give the tickets to all the kids for free, I don't really care, but if you wanna raise the money by auctioning them, sell for $10 a pop. I don't really care. And then you raise some money, you have a little pizza party, you guys can enjoy it. So I could give references to either what I've done in the past with numerous churches and stuff in the areas that I've been in. So I've done a lot of that to give back, to get people, and to be honest.
Yes.
Definitely,
And schools,
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
And, definitely, and if you wanna help, I'd love to collaborate with you, help me to get them to there if you want. That way you don't have to double check it. Yeah. I've done it in, and one thing is, me and my wife are involved with the church in Niles, and so we did it because we saw them. And we've always, seen the benefit of doing so. But I also know it's, that's how you get the best way to have people enjoy yourself is organic word of mouth. They came, they've enjoyed it,
They told their friends.
exactly. $24.99. Yes. $5 a pop.
Yeah, show.
No.
Yeah, it's a
If you-
very reasonable price point.
If you go to the zoo, it's $25. Plus,
Face don't show. Because it's too expensive, I can say.
if you want percentage of just the park, it's more than my show, it's the park, get the entry fee. It's the park. I do charge more on the weekends. That's what people do, Tom. And then I give an option for a fast pass, so you can avoid it more. That's why I see some of the number, higher number, this is if you wanna avoid the line. You can pay for it if you buy it. You know?
Yeah, so just to recap, for everybody that's on the Zoom too, and for the recording, there will be 24-hour security provided both by the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority, sorry, I always get the A wrong. And then, by the Light of Christmas Company itself, so 24 hours, for as long as they're open, there will be security. How many staff will you have working?
So on a slow night, I'll have about 8 people. If it gets busier up to 12. And what I do is I have one at the exit. Actually, if you go back. I have
Picture, that one.
right there. So I put a little star where I have some of the people. I have one in the show. Then I have several right there, one back. Several there where they'll be standing. The red one designates the manager. One at the exit.
2, 3 there. Uh-huh, Sports Facilities Authority, they own the stadium.
Who's absorbing?
It's something that I've never, and to be honest, my rent is significantly higher than 5 times less.
Right.
But
You're gonna be able to get so many more cars through too, you have the
Okay.
potential, yeah,
so because I like my house,
right.
going from, a lot of the people that can help me through this whole process. This year's been especially tough for me, to be honest. I had knee surgery, but a lot of people that have been part of my team, very active. It's pregnancies right now. So neither one have been able to help me out or be around too often, so. But I know I've been very blessed and I consider it a blessing just that I'm even here now. So I'm very grateful for that and I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said earlier,
Yeah, everybody has walkie-talkies. And if there's ever an issue, they communicate with the manager. Weekends usually have 2 managers. The managers are just quicker on their feet. They're able to handle situations. This year I had a couple that managed that 6 labs over the summer. So they're able to handle and through the years that I've done this, I've seen it all. And so I kind of know what to expect, but
Mentioned, they pull in the lot to the winding area to park to get through to the start. They don't have, you're buying out, no cash whatsoever in this facility. But when they show their receipt, QR code, they don't have it. There's an exit lane right there. They go right on the street, they could go out, if they thought they were gonna sneak in, they're not going to.
yeah.
But, the redirected out, if you either buy a ticket from the street, get back in line, or,
Well, I mean, again, I think it's great, of course, I'm concerned with security because. You know what's happening with
Yep,
Everywhere.
and
else.
everywhere else.
Of course, it's gonna be like, I just wanna make sure, because it's like, if you're gonna be. Shut it down, it's shut it down.
And we've been talking about it, right?
Right.
See, so we have to make sure that.
It is already on.
We don't want it to be like, the first time, that, yeah, it's something.
I definitely don't.
I don't know.
Well, and Glenn has a different level of risk than me, right? I don't have money in this, like, it's his investment, it's his family business, as he said, he likes his house. This is the largest piece of property he's ever gotten to work with. So that, I think, also probably helped you to do the math with the number of cars you can get through. I like this idea a lot too. I'm excited about the fact that it'll bring people into the neighborhood at a time when we don't have anything going on at the ballpark. And so here's how I see the benefits, John, just to recap for everybody, right? I think bringing people into the neighborhood supports local businesses, all of the restaurants and bars along 33rd. And then, yeah, no, so, but people have to come, they're bringing more than likely bringing families, right? This is a very family oriented, and targeted sort of event, or entertainment, opportunity. People coming, to support our local businesses, I think is a really big deal. The shop is gonna be open as well, so if you're a Sox fan, you'll be able to go shop there as well. I want to talk a little bit more in detail about logistically how it would work. Glenn's open to allowing local groups to come in and sell concessions, because he doesn't have that, so we just got to work out the details, and John, I don't have those today, but that is something that Glenn is absolutely
And we
open to.
talked about doing that in the future.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and it may be that this holding area gets a little bit redesigned, right, potentially, because, I mean, at the most, in any given time slot, what are you anticipating the max number of tickets you're selling?
so at any given time slot, it's only, sure my time slots, it's like 70 cars. 60.
So,
Oh, yeah, potentially. Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the benefits, and he's already said the block of tickets, we just have to figure out how many, and then we can distribute them to all the local churches and the schools, both the Catholic schools as well as the public schools. Yeah, I mean, from day one, that's, when we first met, that was something that we discussed, what's the community going to benefit from? I mean, beyond the fact that, we want commerce, right? We want people to come in. Yeah, or even right, that's very true. You had a question? You can, if you, so the question that was just asked is on the website, would Glenn be willing to put a link to some of the local businesses? And I think that's a conversation for the South Loop Chamber. We talk to what businesses want to participate, right? Because again, we won't just do that, but I do think that because the light show is in this area, promoting places to eat and other things to do in the area makes it a whole like evening sort of event. Have dinner before and like stop at a watering hole and grab a cocktail before you go. Drink responsibly and don't drive it up. But yes, is that something that you would be
Yeah,
able to?
definitely. I've done that in the past every year in the different locations that I've been, and just getting that conversation going and how do we make it work? And for example, Frank and I talked about with the store, if I'd be willing to promote the store and offer some sort of coupon, or if they go in and show the QR code, they can get a discount. And they mentioned if I would pass out the flyer, I actually said the flyer, even though it sounds more complicated, it's easier. I don't hold any traffic, I just give them one piece of paper and go. So if we can coordinate it somehow to get
Yeah,
everybody.
Buddy, yeah. I'm sure we can figure out how to do that,
If
yeah.
I can get one paper with everybody's on there, I'll just give it. As long as I'm giving that, it's easier than opening up the traffic to explain it to them, let's give them a paper, thank you for coming. And very sure, that's what.
So can you repeat the question just in the microphone so that everybody can hear it?
Sure. Question is. How that would work. And so the proposal that we have in front of us is the cars would all enter just past 3031. It's about, if you were to Google map it, it's about 3326 South Wentworth Avenue.
It's where the Uber line would
It's where
be.
the- You enter there, the great thing about it, it's a one way. So Brenda doesn't have to deal with the cars trying to pull in both directions, causing that sort of thing. So that can hold 800 cars.
So that's, yeah, right. So they're not gonna be let in until so this is how it's gonna flow. They're gonna come in here. Yeah, on this. No, that's why, so then 2 lots, one for queuing. So they queue in the lot before they go in. Yeah,
And that lot, if everybody show up same time on one night, we can pretty much hold all those communities. So it shouldn't be any streets or anything.
That lot is the same size as the lot that I queued and had showing last year in Schaumburg, that's how big. It's that. They're allowed,
they have to be able to make the turns though.
it has to be less than 25 feet.
John, yes, I will absolutely. So we wanted to have this opportunity to present what it's going to be. I appreciate those of you who are here. We're gonna post this meeting recording on our Facebook page so people can watch it. I wanna get everybody's concerns out in the open and then have Glenn and Frank be able to respond to those. I think overall, I mean, we've seen positive feedback on social media as well. I am cognizant of the fact that he needs to be able to, so he's setting up, but he doesn't actually have permit to operate yet. So I want to make that clear. So this isn't 100% across the finish line. I think based on tonight's meeting with those of you that are here, I think you've asked a lot of really great questions. I think a lot of it covers probably what most people would want to know about what's going to be what will happen if it's all approved. We don't have a whole lot of time to do that, though. So I held up the permit. When he applied for it, I generally get 2 weeks to review and approve something, but I was in the middle of budget, so I put the brakes on it. Sorry. In order to do this first, because it's 45 days. If it was just over a weekend or maybe 1 week, I probably wouldn't have had a community meeting, to be honest. But 45 days, absolutely. That's the first thing I said. We need to talk to the community. Yes. So the question was, when would this start? If Glenn has his way, it would start.
I'd like to start in November 20. Yeah, just before Thanksgiving. And just to back it up a little bit, all of it is so many lights that you see too. You know, when you put lights at your house every year, there's always something that doesn't work. Try to do that with 5 million lights. You have a lot to do. And so this never ending.
How long will it take you to set up?
It takes about 2 weeks.
Which is why from a timing perspective, it's really
I'm
tight
fine
right
with
now.
that.
Yeah, which is why, yeah, we're banking on, we're hoping that there are no major issues that can't be addressed by just having a conversation so that we can approve this, because I do, looking forward into the future as well, with when we're in the off season, that asset that the city has and that our community has just sits sort of dormant and nothing's going on there, right?
Yeah.
So we started this year with the concert. We learned a lot of important lessons. I feel really good about the plans that were made here and the use of 2 different lots so that we can keep traffic all in flows, right? So there's no traffic backups. And then the benefit to the community, and this is being a starter event, right? I think that because we also still have other lot space that we could work with to expand, like a Christmas village potentially for the people who want to walk. You know, maybe that's over the course of a week or 2 or something like that. But I think that what's great about this is that we know that IFSA is interested in exploring those options. And I think overall, given the things that we know we're concerned with as a community, safety being paramount to all of that, the 24/7 security, I feel great about. We will have contact information for whoever's on duty that night from the ward office and the sports facilities. We'll also have it. So we've covered a lot of bases right now. And what I plan to do is put this out. We'll post it first thing tomorrow morning. If not, we can get it out tonight. And give people a couple of days to review and give any other feedback. It's not going to be, I wish I could give everybody a week. Glenn doesn't have a week if we're gonna make this happen. And I would really like to see this happen. Obviously, we're invested together here. So with that, if there aren't any other questions, no? Thank you for being here. And thank you for all the great questions.
Give my phone number.
Yeah,
And,
You know, I'm serious. Why,
yeah, we'd be glad to give away tickets.
you're like Santa Claus giving away his tickets.
It was a